All right, we're back. It's early July '64. We kind of skipped a turn on the video, so I'm gonna sort of catch us up, talk about our orders, and then we'll actually run this turn and then see where we are afterwards. So the big sort of event that happened last term was that Hoke's force was not able to make it through the railroad here and kind of get back to Eastern Virginia. And we really actually had our first major battle of the game. Let me, oops, sorry, let me filter down a little bit. I think it's this. Yeah, here we go. So losses are about even. One thing is with the more than 10-to-1 difference in artillery, our entire battery has been destroyed. Yeah, so basically you can see that there's basically an infantry division, cavalry division, and then kind of like a mixed division here with Burnside in command. So these two forces are, basically kind of connected and marching to the sound of guns. So we're going to attempt to evacuate Hoke, destroy the railroad here, take the railroad back one, and then kind of head for basically Forsyth, North Carolina. Now over here, the big move is that nothing actually happened here at City Point, but there are a couple divisions moving what appear to be on either Garysburg or Raleigh. I'm sorry, not Raleigh, Goldsboro. So we're going to take our Petersburg force and quickly rail it down to try to defend Garysburg, and then Ewell's Corps will head back and take up the defensive position back in Petersburg. We don't really have enough forces to also defend Goldsboro, so we're going to just have a retreat on defense, and go ahead and blow the depot here. We still have other depots, so there's like a depot here, so I'm not worried about supply not flowing through in that case, but I don't want to easily just give up a depot to the Union. In fact, we already made a mistake here by not blowing this the Stanton depot, and so we are now under siege here. So yeah, already made that mistake. Mosby will attempt to destroy the rail here. Same thing, I think with this force, we should have it on. Yeah, going to destroy the rail. Otherwise, we're kind of just holding our, holding all of our defensive positions. Yeah, let me kind of clear that out so we can have a little more space to view. No huge moves. No huge moves down here. One thing that did happen that's kind of interesting was we had this is actually fully formed now, but we had basically, because Georgia's now been invaded, a couple regiments battery here, and they've now augmented the Savannah force. Here's how things currently look in Charleston as well, smallish division. Now, I'm going to quickly flip over to Mobile, and we're getting pretty well formed here. We did not defeat this regiment here. In fact, it was we lost without causing any casualties, incredibly. But we're going to go ahead and form a division here and send it back. So next time we'll be able to have basically 3 divisions in Mobile, Alabama, which I think is going to be enough to hold Mobile for securely for a little while at least. You can see that we have a number of forces that are under development, and a few more in here as well. So we'll basically have 3 divisions. I'd like to be able to get force out of there eventually, but we'll really need 3 divisions to kind of securely hold Mobile. Now here's where things really get interesting, is that we have our River Navy force, Hollins here, and he was able to block Curtis from crossing, but Gerson's brigade did cross. So we're going to continue to do that to try to stop the Union from crossing. We have a tiny force is going to be left here, and Kent holding the railroad line in the depot. French will need to go and take up a defensive position in Selma, as we now have a division led by Strait here. In addition to that, Cheatham will take his corps command and join the forces. And we're going to bring back Wheeler to Alabama as well. What that leaves us with is basically 3 divisions, 2 of which are mostly cavalry in Atlanta. Claiborne cut off up here in Floyd, Georgia. Here is the supply situation. So we still have we still have a lot of supplies here, and probably even can get some supplies through Jacksonville. So supply is not at the issue, but you can see the Union is involved in like this massive flanking maneuver to get around Claiborne's corps. In fact, Athens has actually now fallen by these 2 divisions and Elliott's corps. Really nothing we can do about that at this point. We're going to try to do a lot with destroying the railroads. We're going to just try to destroy railroads here, here. Going to send off some more forces up here to another partisan unit up here to destroy. Our partisan unit has arrived in Decatur and will attempt to destroy the railroad. Same thing goes for destroying the railroad in Arkansas. We're going to try to push out this cavalry regiment here with our small division, destroy railroad there in Mississippi, and also down here in Mississippi as well. In Texas, we have Beaumont under siege. The Union forces basically left here to go reinforce the fort, which is now fallen, and so we now have a kind of like a Texas defensive position of holding Galveston, blocking the Union here, and then putting Beaumont under siege. Waddy's force will begin to move forward into basically we're hoping to take Jackson, Texas. There's an arsenal there and a large harbor, so that would be kind of nice to have something. Although it's probably blockaded, but maybe we'll be able to push out the Union here at some point. Basically, the Union is everywhere. Really no other way to describe it. Only one plus is that our national morale has come back up above 70. I think it dropped to 60 after the 3rd Conscription Act, kind of at the beginning of the game here. Okay, so let's run the turn and see what happens. All right, we are back. Things did not go super well. One really sort of interesting thing is that Grisson's brigade was able to move on all the way to Montgomery, defeated the small force there. You can see here's what's left, and there's like basically 5. There's basically like 5. We have a lot of forces under development, so looks like Grisson's brigade is pretty worn out, down to 45. So it is going to be really, really imperative that Wheeler is able to arrive and push those forces out before we can, before something really bad happens. Because look at all that's in Montgomery. If we lose that, it's very, very bad. So let me kind of just start off in Virginia like we usually do. Few things happened. I will show you kind of, here's like the result. Basically, we had Sheridan and Sickles moved on Garysburg, and the battle was in on actually day 1, so where the initial battle was, I should say. And obviously, it was these forces were wiped out. What ended up happening was we lost 2 morale here when Breckinridge actually arrived, and then Sheridan actually defeated him. Now morale is actually back up to 72 because resilience has increased 3, so it's a +1 for the turn, but still we lost 2 morale. Here's here's what's left of Breckinridge's division. Nothing was destroyed, which is nice, and we'll be able to send them back to Richmond to recover. But it is a loss nonetheless, and now we are basically cut off from our direct line to the south. One other sort of interesting thing was, it looks like Foster, I think it's Foster's Corps. Yeah, it is Foster's Corps. It sort of has basically kind of moved out of Buford here. Interestingly, left it open, which means we may have an opportunity here to try to take that depot. But you can see basically Buford is now between cut the line again between Charleston and South Carolina. Now up here, there were again no big battles, but the Union continues to encroach into Georgia. I think that's yeah. So Milledgeville has been taken by the Union. This town, and then there's Athens has been taken as well. So the Union continues to take the towns, and there's really, unfortunately, not a lot we can do about it. We were able to stop a force from being crossing here. In the end, Straight's division did not do anything, and so here's how it currently looks. But obviously, losing in Montgomery was disappointing. So we need to push hard to get back and take Montgomery without a doubt. Down here, closer to to Mobile, Alabama, you can see we now have our forces have kind of formed together with our 3rd Division, and we will be able to basically kind of pretty fully form and have 3 divisions holding Mobile, Alabama. We did quickly take back Bolden, as you can see here. Meanwhile, we're still trying to get the Morgan artillery in. Looks like it will arrive in 2 days, which is nice. And Banks continues to hold, I think it's Fort Morgan. Yeah, Fort Morgan. Out in Texas, didn't really see anything happen. Something clearly went wrong with Waddy's turn, because he actually didn't. Interestingly, he actually didn't go anywhere, so I'm not 100% certain about that. Here is the Union force, kind of about a division and a half. Oh, actually, here we go. We were blocked by the Union Navy. Okay, so that actually does make quite a bit of sense. Beaumont is still under siege, so hopefully they will surrender next turn. So we were able to destroy a railroad here and here. Stanton is still under siege. One really sort of negative thing, I think Moosby may have been destroyed. Let's see if we can find that. So here is Moosby. Don't see it here. I'll try to find it, but I don't see Mosby anywhere in Virginia anymore. So unfortunately, that would be a disappointing loss. One of our partisan units, I think in Mississippi, was definitely destroyed. I'm gonna take a quick look and see how we're doing. So the railroad here was not destroyed. The Union cavalry kind of moved out. Over in Tennessee, let's see if we were able to. Does not look like we were able to destroy the railroad, unfortunately. Let's take a look over here. Yeah, so some pretty unlucky turns, not able to. It doesn't look like we're able to destroy any of the railroads, unfortunately, other than what we were able to do in Virginia. You can see here is Burnside. They kind of have spread out a little bit, but basically moving forward. Yeah, so that's pretty much a turn. I think there's a lot to think about. I think the big, as I kind of like alluded on at the beginning, it's critical for us to get back Montgomery under defense and either push out or destroy Grierson's brigade. Yeah. Meanwhile, there is a very, very, very large Union force here, and here it's about 3,800 in combat power. So they could also move on Mobile, Alabama. Mobile is a swamp though, or a marsh, excuse me. So it does have some nice defensive features in that regard. Okay, that is about it. I will see you next time.